BBC News at 7 o'clock. This is Adam Porter. Novak Djokovic has beaten Australia's Nick Kyrgios in the Wimbledon final to win a fourth consecutive men's singles title. Djokovic lost the first set after strong serving from Kyrgios, but the number one seed won the next three. Speaking on centre court after the match, Djokovic explained how much Wimbledon meant to him.
It always has been and will be the most special tournament in my heart, the one that motivated me, inspired me to start playing tennis in a small little mountain resort in Serbia where my parents used to run a restaurant. I was 4.5, 5 years old, and I saw Pete Sampras win his first Wimbledon in '92, and I asked my dad and mom to buy me a racket, and my first image of tennis was grass and Wimbledon.
9 Conservative MPs have now announced they'll be running for leader of the party and Prime Minister. Tax policies have dominated the initial debate. Sajid Javid and Jeremy Hunt have said they'll cancel the planned rise in corporation tax and reduce it further. The former Chancellor Rishi Sunak has suggested tax cuts may have to wait. Our political correspondent Jonathan Blake is following developments.
There will be arguments and points made about how responsible it is to promise very expensive policy moves from these contenders, but there's absolutely no doubt that on the Conservative backbenches, that is, I think, pretty much the number one priority that most MPs want to hear from their prospective leader is what they would do to ease the taxation burden, which many Conservative backbenchers see as being far too high at the moment.
Footage of the Paralympian Johnny Peacock has been removed from the online video which launched the leadership bid of the Trade Minister Penny Mordaunt after he complained. Peacock made clear he didn't support the Conservatives. At least 15 people have been killed and about 20 more are feared dead under rubble after Russian rockets struck an apartment block in eastern Ukraine. Officials say 5 victims have been pulled alive from the remains of the building in Chasiv Yar. President Biden says he's asked his administration to consider whether he has authority to declare an abortion-related public health emergency. It follows the Supreme Court's decision to deny women the constitutional right to an abortion. In Formula One, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc passed his title rival Max Verstappen 3 times on his way to victory in the Austrian Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz was on course to make it a Ferrari 1-2 before he suffered an engine failure with 14 laps to go. Lewis Hamilton took third for Mercedes after qualifying in 8th. He said he was proud of his performance.
Definitely wasn't expecting that, but of course yesterday was a bit of a difficult day. It's been a bit of a rough weekend, but I'm really grateful. As a team, we got a 3rd and 4th. That's great points. And we move forward from here.
And the weather forecast: a fine evening with late spells of summer sunshine. Overnight will then be dry with long clear spells. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 7. BBC Radio 2. Let's get some travel now. Here's Orna Merchant.
Adam, thank you. Glasgow and the M8 eastbound at junction 18 Charing Cross. There is a breakdown there with one lane closed. Just a warning as well that the M6 is looking a little bit slow on the southbound side past Preston. M55 eastbound towards the M6 slow heading back from Blackpool. M57 southbound on Merseyside, junction 3 at Stockbridge. A queue forming there because of an accident in one lane. And North Wales, the A55 return traffic there, and the eastbound side at junction 31 at Carewis. That's where the car was on fire, so it's still queuing. The A46 northbound blocked at Wanlive. That's near the Hobby Horse Island of the A607. A vehicle caught fire there. Northampton queues on the A14. They're eastbound. Junction 2 at Kelmarsh. An accident in one of the lanes. Northampton that was. And the A12 in Essex on the southbound side at junction 21 at Whittam South. One lane is still closed where the accident happened there. And both sides of the Dartford crossing are queuing. So the QE2 bridge, you've got the clockwise side with 3 lanes closed. That's after an accident at the start of the bridge. The anti-clockwise side at the Dartford tunnels, well, the right-hand tunnel is completely closed, so it's down to 2 lanes, and that's why it's queuing there. And westbound, London-bound on the M20, an accident which happened just before junction 8 at Leeds Castle has left queues of an hour and a half. The M2 also slow towards London, slow in patches though, no accidents or incidents. And the M5 at 21, Weston-super-Mare slow. More tomorrow.
The following programme was first broadcast in 2016.